We got a special episode today. It's the story of a band that made rock history by literally singing their way onto the cover of the Rolling Stone. This ragtag bunch of musical misfits from Jersey, they looked more like a gang of bikers than rock or pop stars. Their lead singer wore an eye patch that made him look like a pirate, and their sound was unlike anything else on the radio. They were the musical equivalent of a traveling circus, and they were a powerhouse, scoring 8 massive hits in the 70s and early 80s that we still love today. But then they just vanished. It's a wild ride from dive bars to the top of the charts on this new edition of Professor of Rock. I'm calling it short and sweet. Hey, music junkies, we're doing a new quick version of the show, calling it short and sweet. One band, and we count down their best songs, and we try to do it in 10 minutes or less. Let's talk about one of the most unlikely success stories in rock history, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show. Later called just Dr. Hook. They were never supposed to be successful. Hell, they weren't even supposed to be a real band. Their break came when musical director Ron Halfkind tapped them to cut songs by Shel Silverstein, of course, the famed children's author and songwriter. It was for a 1971 Dustin Hoffman film. More on that in a second. The story begins in Union City, New Jersey in 1968 when clean-cut singer Dennis LeCourrier met with guitarist Ray Sawyer at a local bar. Now, Ray had been through hell and back. A 1967 car accident had nearly killed him, leaving him with permanent damage to his right eye that required him to wear that patch. Ray embraced this pirate look, and he made it part of his persona. Combined with his long hair, his cowboy hat, and scraggly beard, he looked like a cross between a pirate and an Old West outlaw, and it worked perfectly. Dennis and Ray clicked immediately, bonding over their love of music and their shared sense of humor. They started playing around the Jersey club scene, picking up other musicians along the way that would become part of the band. Among them, Billy Francis on keys, guitarists George Cummings and Rick Elswit, Jance Garfit on bass, and Jay David on drums. They called themselves Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, a name that really captured their carnival-like approach to entertainment. Dr. Hook epitomized the countrified and laid-back style in vogue during the early 70s for sure. Though their material was sung in a Dixie drawl and 3 members were genuine Southerners, this was still a New Jersey bar band at heart. One evening, they impressed a talent scout looking for an outfit to record cartoonist Shel Silverstein's film score. For the 1971 flick, Who's Harry Kellerman and Why Is He Saying These Terrible Things About Me? That meeting, it changed everything.
Still got miles and miles to go.
Shel Silverstein wrote classics like The Giving Tree, of course, and Where the Sidewalk Ends. Any 80s kid knows those things, or even a 70s kid. But he's also a songwriter. Silverstein became the band's creative guru, spiritual advisor, and in many ways, their meal ticket. Shel had an uncanny ability to write songs that matched Dr. Hook's aesthetic. He also did A Boy Named Sue, right?
I looked at him and my blood ran cold. I said, "My name is Sue."
CBS Records signed the band, and almost immediate international success would follow. It happened with Sylvia's Mother from their debut album. That song hit number 5 in the US and number 2 in the UK.
Sylvia's mother says.
The follow-up album, Sloppy Seconds, that was also penned by Shel, and it featured the number 6 hit, Cover of the Rolling Stone.
Get you when you get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
And then the band embarked on a punishing touring schedule, and they began to write a number of their own compositions. Some were included on their 3rd album, Belly Up. By then, the band, soon just Dr. Hook, was gaining in popularity, but album sales, they told a different story, expressed by the title of their next album, Bankrupt. However, things started looking up with a revival of Sam Cooke's Only 16. That reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. The next year, they hit number 11 with a little bit more.
But I was a mere child of 16. I'm gonna love you a little bit more.
But it was in the late 70s that the band really shined. They strung together 3 top 6 hits, Sharing the Night Together, When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman, and Sexy Eyes.
Sharing the night together. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, I see sexy eyes.
And you can also add to that the number 12 single, Better Love Next Time. Throughout the 80s, Dr. Hook scored 2 more top 40 hits, but they failed to break into the top 20. Now, the band did try to adapt. They experimented with more contemporary production techniques and different songwriters, but man, the magic was just largely gone by then. In 1985, the inevitable happened. Dr. Hook officially disbanded with both Ray Sawyer and Dennis LeCourrier. They pursued solo careers. Dennis found success in Europe, where Dr. Hook had maintained a strong following, and then Ray formed his own band, calling it Dr. Hook featuring Ray Sawyer, leading to years of legal battles over the name and the right to perform the band's classic hits. It's truly a sad end to what had once been a genuine friendship. Both men continued performing until health issues slowed them down. Ray Sawyer actually passed away in 2018. But Dennis is still alive. I should try to get an interview with him. Would you like to see that? Let me know below. Dr. Hook's career, it represents something truly unique in rock history, though. I mean, their best songs continue to endure, because they captured universal experiences with both humor and heart. That's my take. Here are my top 3 Dr. Hook picks. Coming in at number 3, I've got Sharing the Night Together.
Yeah, sharing the night together.
By the late 1970s, Dr. Hook had evolved. They dropped And the Medicine Show from their name and shifted toward a more polished, radio-friendly sound. From there, the novelty songs were largely behind them, replaced by romantic ballads and up-tempo rockers that showed off Dennis LeCourrier's confident vocals, and he was a really good vocalist.
Say these things 'cause I'd like to know if you're as lonely as I am.
From their 7th studio album, 1978's Pleasure and Pain, Sharing the Night Together was a cover of a song written by Ava Aldridge and Eddie Struzik, and initially recorded by Lenny LeBlanc and then Arthur Alexander.
Sharing the night together.
Cover or not, though, it perfectly captured the band's evolution towards smooth pop rock. This is one of their most polished productions to that point, with lush arrangements. Like I said, Dennis LeCourrier is delivering what may be his finest vocal performance. The song was pure romantic escapism, painting a picture of two people finding perfect connection in each other's arms.
We could bring in the morning, girl, if you want to go that far.
A classic 70s hit if there ever was one. It wasn't trying to be funny or clever. It was just a straight-up love song performed with genuine emotion and impeccable musicianship. Sharing the Night Together reached number 6 on the Hot 100 and showed that Dr. Hook could succeed without their trademark humor.
Right here, the way we are.
They'd kind of become serious musicians here, capable of delivering heartfelt ballads that could stand alongside anything coming out of Nashville or Los Angeles.
And start sharing the night together.
All right, in 1979, Dr. Hook released what would become their biggest hit. My number 2 pick, The Bridesmaid Position, When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman.
You know it's hard.
It's just a 70s classic. Beautiful Woman wasn't a Shel Silverstein composition, though. Instead, it was written by Even Stevens, a Nashville songwriter who understood how to craft that kind of relatable, hook-heavy song, the kind that dominated late 70s radio, anyway.
Everybody wants her. Everybody loves her.
So Even Stevens wrote When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman in about 5 minutes. This is while he was driving home, feeling jealous and paranoid after seeing how many guys were hitting on a new girl that he was dating. She was a singer playing at the Vanderbilt Holiday Inn, and he couldn't get a chance to talk to her.
With a beautiful woman. You watch your friend.
He said that the line, "You watch your friends," that perfectly describes the song's core theme of jealousy and paranoia. The girl the song was written about, Sherry, she even sang background vocals on the demo. That's pretty cool.
When you're in love with
The track tapped into a universal truth that every guy out there can relate to. When you're dating somebody gorgeous and everybody else wants what you have, the constant worry that someone better looking or more successful is, going to steal them away. It was all there in the lyrics. Dennis LeCourrier's vocal performance, that of course was key to the song's success. He had evolved from the goofy character singer of the early days into a legitimate crooner. His delivery was smooth, it was conversational. It was like he was talking directly to you about his relationship troubles over a beer at the bar.
it just convinces me more.
The song shot to number 5 on the Hot 100 and became their biggest international hit. It reached number 1 in several countries and established Dr. Hook as more than just a novelty act. They were legitimate pop stars now with a sound that could compete with anyone on the radio. And compete they did.
With a beautiful woman. You watch your eyes.
All right, we're to the number 1 pick, and it's no surprise. It's a no-brainer here. It's a total classic. The song is a cover of Rolling Stone, the song that put Dr. Hook on the map. And it's actually a very clever piece of musical satire.
Smiling face on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
In '72, Shel Silverstein wrote the cover of Rolling Stone specifically for the band. The song was a tongue-in-cheek fantasy about a group of musicians dreaming of making it big enough to grace the cover of America's most visible rock magazine back then.
Decide to blow our minds, but our minds won't really be blown.
And the lyrics were pure Silverstein. Witty, irreverent, and just self-aware enough to work. The narrator sings about wanting to buy 5 copies for his mother. See his picture on the cover of Rolling Stone. It was the perfect blend of aspiration and absurdity that defined Dr. Hook's early sound.
Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother. Gonna see my...
When the song was released in '72, it climbed all the way to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it was a song that everybody sang. Here's where the story gets really interesting, though. The band and the fans started lobbying Rolling Stone magazine to actually put them on the cover. They figured if they sang about it, they might as well make it happen in real life.
Rolling Stone. Wanna see our pictures on the cover.
Now, Rolling Stone initially resisted. After all, Dr. Hook wasn't exactly their type of band, a Led Zeppelin or a Pink Floyd, but the band kept pushing, and their fans started writing letters, and those letters bombarded the magazine. Finally, in 1973, Rolling Stone relented and put the band on their cover with the headline, "What's Her Name's Make the Cover." It was a perfect match of the magazine's irreverent attitude back then, combined with the band's self-deprecating humor.
On the cover of the Rolling Stone. Right up front, man, I can see it now.
I mean, the whole thing was unprecedented. A song about being on a magazine cover that actually got the band on that very cover. It was rock and roll wish fulfillment to its greatest degree. It established Dr. Hook as masters of meta-musical storytelling. And I love how Cameron Crowe portrayed this in Almost Famous when they were singing the song. Well, there you have it. What are your memories of Dr. Hook? Did I make the 10 minutes? We should have a little running toll. Anyway, share your memories of Dr. Hook below and make sure to subscribe. Love to have you as part of our community. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.